Well, today I'm pulling everything that I'm going to be using to make desserts. And it's going to be nice and easy this year. I'm not going to make all the cookies that I've done in the past. I'm going to stick with my main ingredient, which is puff pastry. And I'm going to show you a few different ways to use this to get a few different desserts out of it. Some of the things you're going to need is a type of fruit. I'm going to use some fresh strawberries and add some glaze. Then I picked up a can of pie filling, and I'm going to go ahead and use cherry for mine, but you can use whatever pie filling you want. Next, you're going to need some type of a pudding. You can use Bavarian cream from your local bakery. You can pick that up, or just use a package of instant pudding. Next, you're going to want some heavy cream if you're going to be making the whipped topping on your own, or you can use Cool Whip if you want to do that as well. Then you're going to need some powdered sugar, egg for egg wash, some regular sugar. Then you're going to need some walnuts or whatever type of nuts you want to use in this particular dessert that you're using. Then I also picked up some chocolate that I'm going to melt. Then last but not least, we have some pecans, and this is going to be a special treat that your guests are going to be able to take home with them. So let's get started. The first thing I'd recommend doing is getting your pudding made up. So we need 2 cups of the milk, and I like to use whole milk. And then we're going to add in our 1 packet of vanilla pudding. Then we're going to mix that up really good. Now that we've mixed that up really good, we're going to go ahead and put that into the refrigerator so that sets up. Now you're going to need 2 different bowls because we're going to have dry ingredients and then we're going to have the wet ingredients. We're going to start with the dry ingredients first. We're going to need 1 cup of sugar. So we'll get that out. And this is going to be for 1 pound of pecans. Next, we're going to do a ½ teaspoon of ginger. Next, we're going to add some salt, and you can do anywhere from a 1/4 teaspoon to a ½ teaspoon. I think I'm going to do right in between. Then the last thing we're going to add is a tablespoon of cinnamon. We're going to mix that up well. Now we're going to work on the bowl that has the wet ingredients. You put 1 egg and 1 tablespoon of water. Then we're going to start mixing this until it's nice and frothy. And that's what you're looking for as far as frothy. Now the next step is to put your pecans into here. And this is only a ½ pound. So I'm going to go ahead and mix these up. You want to cover all of them really well. Now because I'm just doing a ½ pound, I'm going to take off the excess egg and water mixture. I'll just let that drain. And I'll put it back in the same bowl so I don't have an excess. And we're going to slowly add in, let me grab a spoon. We're going to slowly add in the sugar mixture. And we're going to coat this really well. We're going to use about half because the other half is going to be for another batch. Now it's all coated. I'm using a non-stick pan, but if you don't have a non-stick pan, you can easily put some parchment paper down and then put this on top and it'll work just fine. So we're going to put these onto here, but you don't want them clumped together. So I use my hands. I'm not worried about getting dirty or anything. And we're just going to spread them all out like this. And the reason you don't want them on top of each other is because you want that heat to get to all of them, and you don't want to have any sogginess in between. So make sure you spread them out good. Now the oven's ready. We're going to go ahead and put this in. All right, now that you have those in there, every 10 to 15 minutes, make sure you check it and turn them because you don't want one side getting darker than the other. It's been about 12 minutes. I want to pull this out and take a look at it. Now we want to take and turn them. I'm going to pull these out and take a look at them. It looks like they set up already. It's been probably about 22 minutes. Now that these are done, all we have to do is let them cool off and set up. The main thing you're looking for when you're doing these is that the outside is crispy and set up. Mine took a total of about 22 minutes. Yours may be a little bit different. Just make sure every 10 minutes that you're checking it. I had it set at 325, but to make it easier for the first timers doing this, maybe you might want to have your oven down to like 300 to give you a little bit of leeway. It'll take a little bit longer, but it also won't bake as quickly. The other thing is if you want to make this spicy for those family members who like a little kick in their stuff, put a little bit of cayenne pepper in here, and then that'll just add that little bit of special touch for the holiday. Now that this is cooled down, I want to show you how to set it up as a gift. I already keep these. These are decorative bags for cake decorating. But if you want to just do a little baggie, that's fine as well. But it's cute with this. You just start filling it up. So like I said, make sure these are totally cool. You don't want to have any heat in there at all. When you fill it up though, make sure you have enough top that you're going to use a rubber band and go back and forth to seal this up. And once you got your rubber band on, then you're going to take a simple ribbon, put it on the top, tie it loose little knot because you want them to be able to get it, not work hard to get this open. And there you have it. And it'd even be cute if you put a little ornament on there as well. Now we're going to be going on to puff pastry. Now I'm back after my short break from having dinner. We're going to go ahead and get started on the puff pastry. There's 2 sheets in here, and I'm not going to make a lot of any one. I'm going to just show you how to make a few of each kind. With puff pastry, if you get it from your bakery, it'll come in sheets. It won't be folded. If you get it from the freezer, it's going to be folded like this. The important part is making sure you thaw it out, but you don't want it to get warm and sticky. You want it to stay cool. The first one we're going to show you is based off of the lines that are already on here where it's folded. So we're going to go ahead and cut that. And I have 2 sheets in this. So while I'm working on one of the sheets, I'm going to go ahead and put the other one into the refrigerator because I don't want it to get too warm and I don't want it drying out. So you just slip it back in there and put it in the refrigerator. Now that I have my 2 strips, I want them to be the same because I'm going to be doing this for a holiday party. So I want them to look their best. So what I do is put them on top and go ahead and take off a little bit of the extra, and we're just going to set that aside. Now we want to get these into squares, so the easiest way to do that is just fold it over in a triangle and go ahead and cut it. Then set it aside. Same, you keep going until you can't get any more out of it. And this extra, just set it aside for now. So we should get 3 per strip and a little bit of extra. First thing we're going to make is pinwheels out of this. So I want to take each corner and cut it almost to the center, but not quite. Make sure that it opens. Just like that. We're going to go ahead and do the rest of them. Now we're ready for the next step. We have all our corners cut. We're going to take a little bit of this egg wash and we're going to put it in the middle. And the reason we're going to do this is because this is going to help this to attach once we bring those corners down. Now the next step, we're going to take the corner, we're going to bring it down, and we're going to press that in. And we're going to take the same corner and press it but you can't take the opposite. You have to make sure you keep taking the same corner. And then you have a beautiful pinwheel. Let's finish these up. Now that we have those all done, we're going to go ahead and move that onto the paper. You can use parchment paper, but I'm out of parchment paper, so I'm going to go ahead and use foil so that it doesn't stick. Make sure you have enough space between them so they bake evenly. And then we're going to finish these up on the detail work. Now the final step is to take the egg wash. We're going to go ahead and brush that on real lightly. Don't press a lot because you want that pretty shape to stay. Now that we got that all done, we're going to take our regular sugar and we're going to sprinkle it on. And the very last step, we're going to take our fruit and we're going to add a little bit into the center. Make sure you're really neat about this. Don't over stack it so it makes a mess. Now, don't those look pretty? I have the oven at 400 degrees. We're going to go ahead and put this into the oven. We're going to set it for 10 minutes because we want to see where it's at. 10 minutes are up. We're going to go ahead and check this. And that's exactly what I'm looking for. See the browning on it? See how they've puffed up? They're a good size. They look good. We're going to go ahead and take those out. Let's take a quick look at the bottom. Make sure that looks good. And it's nice and golden. Now we're going to move on to the next thing. And we used to call these snuggles when we were in bakery. I think they have a couple different names though. They do snuggles too. I don't know what it would be in your area. But what we need to do is have some chopped up walnuts, and we need to make sure they're chopped up really good. Big pieces don't work real well. Then we're going to add in some sugar, and at this point I would say this is probably about a half a cup. We're going to mix this up and see where we're at. This was not quite a half a pound of walnuts, so I'm going to go ahead and add in another half cup. And I'll show you what I'm looking for. Now this is what I'm looking for. See how the consistency between the nuts and the sugar? How you can see a lot of the sugar? That's what we need right there. So that was about a half a cup, or I'm sorry, a half a pound of walnuts to 1 cup of sugar. Now it's time to get out our puff pastry again. And we need to open this up gently. Here's one strip. We're going to go ahead and cut that. Now our next step is getting this ready for the nuts and sugar. We're going to take the egg wash again, and we're going to brush the inside, just like this. And this is going to help us to keep those nuts and sugar attached to the puff pastry. Now we take these and we're going to lay that down the center just like that. We're going to push it out to the edge. You want it all the way to the edge. If it gets on the counter, that's fine. You just want to make sure that everything is totally covered. Give it a little press, not too hard. Then we're going to take the second one and we're going to put that on top. We're going to match it up. And now what we're going to do is we're going to cut strips. It's okay, that comes apart like that. We're going to fix that. And we're going to make small ones because it's for the holidays. We're going to now cut that in half. Then we're going to pick it up like this. And we are going to twist them, twist them, twist them until it has a nice shape and you can see all that twisting. Just like that. Now that these are all ready, we're going to go ahead and put these in the same oven temperature, 400 degrees, and we're going to put these for 10 minutes as well. Now while those are baking, I got some powdered sugar out and put it in a bowl. And then I also got some whole milk. And we're going to make some icing because you need to ice these as soon as they come out because they need to be hot in order to set this icing up. So we're going to add a tablespoon at a time, and we're just going to use a fork to mix that with. What we're looking for is a consistency that can be drizzled over. It's getting there. Let's add one more tablespoon. Okay, that's what we're looking for. See how that drizzles? Perfect. 10 minutes has passed. It's time for these to come out. And we're going to take a quick look at them. See the bottom. and they look good. So at this point, what we need to do is put them onto a rack. And the reason we're using this rack is because this is going to allow for that glaze to drip through. And we take the rack and we're going to put that over here, like that. And then we're going to take our bowl and we're going to go ahead and drizzle over top. And we're letting that drip right down. Now this next one we're going to make is called a Napoleon, and this puff pastry is not going to have anything in it. It's going to be baked just with this, and we're going to put a little bit of the egg wash on it with some sugar, and then it's going to rise. So we need to have this divided out equally. So I go down the middle, and I think I'm going to make this into 6 of them. I think that'll be a good size. Then we're going to lay these on here. And remember, give them space. Don't put them up right next to each other. You want them to bake evenly. Now put the egg wash on evenly. Don't have it clumpy on there. Now we're going to take and sprinkle that sugar on top of there. This is what's going to caramelize, and it's going to make it a beautiful golden brown on top. These used to be the best seller in the bakery. I worked bakery for years. I actually started when I was only 18. While those are baking, we're going to go ahead and get the strawberries all cut up. And I'm going to show you the way you want to do it. Just take off the top like that, and then we're going to slice that the long way down, just like that. And you can do it about that thick, and that'll be perfect, because what we want is to be able to lay those out onto the puff pastry, just like that. The 10 minutes is up. Let's take a quick look at these. And that is perfect. That's exactly what you're looking for. See how it lifted up? And it's nice and golden brown. I want to let them cool a little bit because that sugar, they've stuck a little bit. But once this cools, I'll be able to get those off, and I'll show you what we're going to do with those. Now that's one more down. We've got another couple to go. We got all the strawberries cut up. Now I want to add in a glaze to this. And with these, now you can go ahead and cut your strawberries up the day before, put them in the glaze, and then they will do just fine. You're not going to have any problems with them because this is actually preserving the strawberry. And this smells so good. And there you go. That's what this looks like. So we're going to set this aside in the refrigerator, until we're ready for it, because those have to be cool in order to put them together. But we need one more thing before we can assemble those, and that's we need a whipped icing. It's more like the fluffy icing that you get at some of the stores. It's a heavy whipping cream. I'm going to put some of the powdered sugar in it, a little bit of vanilla, and I'm going to whip that up, and we're going to put another added layer to this. It's going to be beautiful. What's nice with all of these recipes is it only takes 10 minutes for each one. So it's something that's quick and easy, and you can whip up the very last day. You don't have to worry about doing these ahead of time. In fact, when it comes to puff pastry, the fresher they are, the better they are. You want them flaky. If they are a few days old, they can get chewy, and you definitely don't want that for a holiday get-together. All right, to make our whipped icing, we're going to need to go ahead and have 16 ounces of heavy whipping cream. We're going to go ahead and get that started. We're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. And then we're going to start adding in our powdered sugar, which is a half a cup. Perfect. See those peaks? That's what you're looking for right there. That's ready. Now, in order to make these look more professional, like a bakery would do them, the key is to having these bags, and then we're going to put in a border tip. That actually looks like that. Oh, can you see that? Let's see. Let's turn it sideways. There you go. See that? Okay. So we're going to put that into there, and we need to make sure that this is going to poke all the way through, and it's not yet. So we need to take the tip of that bag, and we're going to cut more off. And then it should go through, and you want it to fit snug. And we're going to go ahead and fill this with our whipped icing. And I think that will probably do all of them. And the key to using an icing bag is making sure you have it nice and firm between your thumb and your fingers like that. Then once you have that, that gives you the ability to squeeze the bag. This hand allows you to move it around. So let's get started. We need to open these up. Before I break it, let's go ahead and use a knife to get this started. It can actually cut through. If these were bigger, it would come apart much easier. But because I'm doing them small and dainty for the party, it takes a little bit of time. All right, so you can just take a little knife like that and just give it some help. Those layers are already there, so it's not going to be hard to do. It's just I don't want to take a chance on breaking them. And see those layers? So we're going to lay them like this, but the tops, let's put it behind it because I don't want to get anything on it. So we're going to do it that way. Just cut it around. Our first layer is going to be the pudding. So we're just going to put that on. You don't want to put too much. You want to spread it out. So probably a spoonful, I would say, is plenty. Okay, that's how that looks. Now we're going to move on to putting the strawberry. And we're going to put 3 in a row. And this may feel a little tedious, but it is so worth the effort to take your time and make sure that this is going on here neat and clean. Okay, now we are ready for the last layer. And this is the key to making it beautiful. You want to do those ruffles and just do a circle like that. Then when you place this on there you go, a finished beautiful bakery product. Now the final touch for these is we're going to put some powdered sugar on top, just like snow. And I'll pick one up so you can see it. Look at that beautiful, beautiful dessert. Anybody's going to be impressed with that. We have one last to make. We've got one more strip. And this one, we're going to make it into squares. And we're going to do little mini turnovers. And you can do these in a different type. What I might do is I have this chocolate. So I think we're going to use this chocolate inside. It's probably going to take 2 of them. Yeah, I would say that'll be good. So let's go ahead and put some wash on this. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want them to seal really well. Inside of these, you can put any type of filling. You can do chocolate. You can do a fruit filling from pies. You can do some cream cheese filling. It's endless possibilities what you can do with this. So let's get started. Let's go ahead and we're going to do 2 chocolates per turnover. And let me get a fork, because what we're going to do is we're making a turnover. So we need to have these edges match up. And it's important that those are sealed, so whatever you have inside is going to stay inside. And I want to do both sides. Just like that, and then we're going to lay it out on here. And then we're going to brush it on the outside just like we did the other ones. We're not going to sprinkle any sugar on these. We're just going to do the egg wash. And let's get those into the oven. 10 minutes. Now these still have about 3 minutes. So what I did is I put a pot of water on. I need this to come to a boil. The way I'm going to do it is make a double boiler on my own. I'm going to take this pot and put it on top of here. And then I'm going to put the chocolates in here and I'm going to melt them down. Then once I do that, that's what I'm going to use to decorate the top of those. And that way everybody knows there's chocolate inside of that. Timer went off. Let's take a look at them. Perfect. It doesn't have the sugar on it, but that's okay. It's got a nice crust on it, and it is golden brown on the bottom. So those will look great. When I'm ready, I'm going to get this chocolate done, and we're going to drizzle that on there. We added our chocolate in, and it's already starting to melt. We just have to wait till it totally breaks down. Since it's not breaking down like the morsels do, we're going to go ahead and add some heavy cream. There we go. Now it's breaking down good. Let me wipe my hands off. That's better. I know when I use the chocolate chips, I don't ever have any trouble. Those break down right away. You can go ahead, Tim, put some more, a little bit more. Much better. There we go. Perfect. Now that this chocolate is all melted down, we're going to go ahead and drizzle. You definitely have to work pretty quick with chocolate because it does set up. All right, those are done. Now all we gotta do is bring it all together so you can see the finished product. Now look at all these beautiful things that were made from just one package of puff pastry. I wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me and learning how to make these yummy desserts, something different from cookies. And your guests are going to absolutely love them. And don't forget to make them their gifts for when they go home. And maybe add a little ornament to their Merry Christmas, and I'll see you next year.